Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today, my special guest is Mack Hollins, and we're down here in Georgia on Mack's farm. And Mack, we just found a pretty cool plant here.
We did, yeah. Little fool's clover.
Yep.
Which is very exciting because this field, we were thinking there was zero forage at all here.
Exactly.
So seeing that was super exciting.
So what he's talking about here, folks, is this plant right here. It's a very palatable, it's a legume. You can hold on to that, Mac. And it's also got some foxtail in it. At this stage, cattle will eat the heck out of this. Once the foxtail gets mature, they won't eat it so much. But you've got what they call goat weed, this stuff here. And, you know, we can put pressure on that by unrolling hay on this. You're starting with a crop field. That's what this was.
Yep, it used to be, there was a little cotton and peanut that they would go back and forth with. And it sat for about a year and a half since I was able to take over the land. And I said, let it rest or come back at least a little bit from all the fertilizer and stuff that's on it. So
you bought this 100 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yep.
And it's 100 acres. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, it's about 100 acres. Some timber, a good amount of it. And then there's some good bit of acreage that'll be turned into pasture sooner, and then hopefully some silvo pasture inside the timber areas.
Well, we walked it yesterday, and I was pleasantly surprised. Some of that's pretty open back there, and it's not going to take too much to go in there and open up the canopy enough to get some sunlight in there.
Oh yeah, I think some good work and taking out some trees, leaving some space. Like you said, about 75 to 100 feet between each tree.
Yeah,
and just giving the sun some room to get down there onto the soil.
Well, Mac, of course, you're in a different business now. You tell people, not everybody knows who you are, but you can go ahead and kind of give a brief.
Yeah, so I play in the National Football League. I'm a wide receiver for the New England Patriots right now. So I've played, this is my 9th season. So I played in Philadelphia, I played in Miami, I played in Atlanta, I played in Las Vegas, and I played in Buffalo. So I've been around the league, and so football is my daytime job. And this is my hobby, and hopefully someday my main job as well.
Yeah, so you just turned 31.
Yep.
And you just signed a 2-year contract with the Patriots. And I asked you this morning how many times you've been hurt. And it's amazing you haven't had any really broken bones in the NFL.
Yeah, the only broken bone I've ever had was my clavicle in college. So I've been fortunate. It is not the safest of businesses that I'm in. But I've been fortunate enough to keep playing, and that's probably the biggest thing is if you're not healthy, you can't keep going no matter how good you are. So yeah, I'd definitely say I'm real fortunate to be able to keep playing. I mean, 9 years is a long time.
Yeah, well, people recognize you. A lot of people do from you do quite a bit on Facebook, and you have a kind of a unique way you enter the practice field on game days.
Yeah, so I do a lot of social media stuff, and I'm always barefoot, except when I'm out on the farm. I try to be smart every once in a while with my barefoot actions. But yeah, I do a lot of barefoot stuff. When I walk into games, practices, always barefoot. Really, airplanes and bathrooms are the two places I always have shoes on. And then if I come out to the farm and I'm walking through a lot of weeds and things that aren't too good for my feet, I'll put shoes on. But yeah, I've done a lot of education stuff on whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, whatever it is. I enjoy the education stuff, so I'm a little bit of everything. But now I'm the student of the great Greg Judy.
Well, you were talking about earlier, Mac, you're a little different kind of cat. You were talking about when you get fined, like if you hit somebody in the NFL, it happens. I mean, you get a fine, you're like, oh man, there went 2 cows.
Yeah, I have cattle are now my comparison. They're my bar. So when I see guys buy new cars, I'm like, listen, that's a couple cattle right there. That's all I'm thinking in my mind is you got that nice car that you're going to spend all that money on, and it's not going to give you a calf. You're not getting a new car out of it. You get that new Mercedes, you're not getting a Toyota to birth every year. I'm thinking of those cattle I can get.
Well, Mac, I'm so proud of you. I mean, I can't put into words, you know, how many people in your position think like that. I mean, you know, you want a fancy car, but Mac, you're different. You're thinking, no, I'm going to buy me some cows.
Yeah, I still don't own a car yet.
You don't?
No. So 9 years in, I still don't own a car.
Wow.
I just don't see a reason to. I've walked everywhere I need to go or bike. and maybe I've been saving up for cattle. Maybe that's what people are going to say. What in the world are you doing buying all that cattle?
You bought 100 acres.
100 acres, yeah. That's my biggest purchase in my career.
Well, you're a young fellow, and you know, you've got your eyes around here. There's other land around, and
Definitely.
the family that we're working with here, or you're working with, they seem really open to you, helping you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I think what's great about it is they've had to put up with the field looking like junk for a year and a half.
Yep.
And now they're seeing and understanding the process of what we're doing and how we're going to raise the meat and why it's good and how it impacts everything, whether it's the birds or whether it's the turkeys or the deer or all the wildlife or the water runoff or just the grass in general, making your fields look better. So they're starting to understand it. And I think what's really going to be great is over this next year or so when they start to be able to see it.
Yep.
And that's once you can see it, I think just like on your land in Missouri, everybody's, can you do that to mine? Can you do that? And I think that's what's hopefully going to happen.
I think it'll happen here. Yeah. Once you have where you can put more time to it. But right now you've got some fence to build here. We got some water to figure out.
Oh, yeah.
And we've already kind of come up with a plan on all that.
Yeah, we have obviously the entire thing. We have to fence and figuring out how to do that. And we've actually, I think, come up with a pretty good idea of getting a big tank, and putting it about 6 to 10 feet off the ground.
Yep.
And gravity feeding the entire farm, splitting it right down the middle.
Yep.
Where I can put all those quick couplers. Yep. Whenever I have pastures.
Well, you got a 60-acre lake over there.
Yeah, and I have some good neighbors that have a 60-acre lake. That, hopefully I'll be able to have access to and be able to use that when needed. So being able to have all that stuff is, obviously every farm doesn't have that, every piece of land doesn't have that. So I've definitely been really fortunate for where I happen to get my land.
And your good friend, y'all been childhood friends since college. You roomed together.
Yep.
Was it his dad that has a rental company?
Yeah, so his dad also has a rental company, so all the equipment. If you think about the equipment that has to get used.
Trencher, skid steer, whatever.
Skid steer, any type of stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're able to now have access, whether it's he's using it and we get a discounted rate, but what more I'm thinking, I'm saving $1.
There you go.
Get
another cow.
There's another cow for me. So just all working back into how can I save as much money, but then get as many hooves on the ground.
How did you, you're from Maryland. You didn't grow up in the country. How'd you, what prompted you to go this direction?
I think a lot of things. I think I've always been into animals. So I think being on a farm has always been really cool to me. But just, I think I got a vision of how food was, especially in the United States, and learning more about, wow, I don't think that's how you're supposed to feed a cow or a pig or a chicken or whatever it is. And then learning how these animals were supposed to be raised and how they naturally eat and take care of themselves. And I said, well, why can't I just do it? So the real goal for me originally has always been if I can break even at the end of the year, but every member of my family has a cow in their freezer.
Yep.
And they're eating quality meat that they know where it came from and they know what it was eating, then I'm doing a good job and I'll be okay with it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a very noble goal to have, is to produce your own meat. Yeah. And the animals led a good life out here. They're eating grass. They're not being subjected to chemicals. It's just fed by the solar energy up there. Yeah. You're catching solar energy and turning it into healthy beef.
Oh yeah, and that's all we're doing. We're making sure the microbes are healthy so that we can have cattle that are healthy.
Yep.
And if you look around farms that are doing it properly, you can see how much life is there.
Yeah.
You can look at the farms that aren't doing it properly, and you can see when it rains, especially. It's crevices all over. It looks like the Grand Canyon came through. And it's just so different. All you gotta look is at the fence line, and it's just such a stark difference. So when I saw that and learned that and started watching you, it opened my eyes. I'm like, this is something that I could do. And you made it so simple. You're like, listen, do this and this. Okay. Yep. I just need to learn a little bit more, but this is something that anybody could do.
You came to our grazing school last spring.
Yep.
And I didn't know you. I didn't know you from Adam.
Yeah. Listen, I walked in there and I was in sweats and a hoodie, and everybody's in cowboy boots, and I think they're looking at me like, I think you took the wrong turn. This is a grazing school. I think you meant to go to the gym. But everybody welcomed me with open arms, and I think that's what's so great about the community is we're all here to learn.
Yep.
There was ranchers there that had been doing it for 3 generations, trying to learn how to do it the way that I'm trying to do it. And there was people that had been doing it like you do it.
Yep.
And are just learning more.
Yep.
So it just bring everybody together. Nobody is there to judge. Everybody was there to, hey, how can I get better at this?
Exactly. And they share information.
Oh, yeah. Nobody tries to hoard it. It's like, listen, I want your farm to look better than mine.
Yeah.
Because then I can learn from you and take some back. So it was really cool to be a part of that and be able to see it.
Yeah. Well, we sure enjoyed having you. And, you know, I remember when you left, you said, well, Greg, one of these days I want you to come out to my farm in Georgia, because at that time you'd bought this.
Yeah, I just bought it.
And I'm like, well, maybe we can make it happen. And you did. I mean, you called me up and we came out here, and it's been awesome seeing this part of the world, and it's going to be awesome to see how this develops over the years.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited to, one, kind of document this journey of literally starting from a field that was.
I mean, look at this. You got goat weed out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's taller than me. I'm 6'4", and some of this stuff is out here is 7 foot.
7 foot tall.
I mean, you make fishing poles out of some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But to see what it is right now, and then the vision of what it's going to be in 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And then on from there, and that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be so much better.
Right. Well, I emailed you some pictures of some silvopasture that a guy had done in Georgia, so it burned into your brain what yours can look like.
Yeah.
I wanted you to have that vision.
Yeah, that was big. Because I think when you were first talking about silvopasture, it was going to be like this barren, one tree every acre.
Yeah.
And when you sent that picture, I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really, really good. The grass has grown up. The trees don't look like they're so far apart.
Right.
75 feet seems, oh, that's a lot, but it's actually not. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So it looked great. So I'm excited to go back there, because I was nervous at first. I'm going to cut too much and it's going to look barren. But I'm excited to go back there, clear it out, and make it start growing.
You and I were walking back through there last night, and we were coming out, and it sounded like somebody shot a shotgun right beside us. I'm like, Mac, what was that? And you looked at me, well, that's a beaver. Yeah. I'm like, there's not beaver in the middle of the woods, but you have a creek back here that runs out of this 60-acre lake.
So it runs out of the lake and kind of wraps the whole backside, almost has become my fence line.
Yeah.
Almost to the foot.
How many people got beaver in their woods?
Not too many.
Not too many.
I mean, and there's some big beavers, but it's funny. There's a part of the lake that blew out, and the beavers dammed it up themselves.
Yeah, fixed it.
Yeah, so one side is concrete, and the other side concrete blew out, and the beaver said, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. And they fixed it in a couple of days.
Yeah, you and I were looking at that like, how would we couldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's plumb level. Everything is perfect as the concrete next to it.
It's amazing.
You would think somebody did it by hand, but it was beavers.
Yeah.
And they do a good job, and they still let me get a little water on the backside of my land.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's awesome coming down here, and Mac, people that want to follow your progress, you do a lot of stuff on Facebook. Somebody wants to follow you, they just type in Mack Hollins? Or?
Yeah, so on all the social media platforms, it's just Mack Hollins. So
that's
MackHollins. That's all my platforms. And I'll start, as this journey goes, I'll start doing more farm stuff. There's a bunch of education and all that, but it'll soon be farm stuff.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Well, my battery just told me I'm low and I need to shut this dude down, but I'm glad I had enough battery to do this video. And Mac, thanks for taking time with us, and we look forward to your journey. Yeah,
thank y'all. Greg, I'm thankful that you're down here and got to check it out, but this journey's just beginning. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be awesome. Folks, y'all hit that subscribe button way out, and we'll see y'all next time.